How does not living according to our mission negatively impact our health? So, hi, my name is Ed. I'm the founder of NoMind, and the mission of NoMind and this channel is to automate people's health. And currently, I work with entrepreneurs and busy professionals and help them with this mission. And when we talk about health, a lot of people think that health, it's all about the exercise, the diet, the sleep, your hormone levels, the biohacking part of it, your environment, and all those things matter. But there's one thing which I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, but this is a topic of importance, and I would say even bigger importance than everything else in health. You can do everything perfectly. You can take the right supplements. Your nutrition can be perfect, but if this one thing isn't there, your progress will be slow, and it will negatively impact your health and other areas of your life. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about living according to your mission. And what do I mean by mission? Well, I think every one of us has a mission and a purpose why we are here, a mission to fulfill. The mission is very individual to everyone, and it's also not easy to find what is exactly our mission. But let me tell you a story. So I've seen, working with people and also observing my friends, I've seen that if you are, for instance, in a job that you don't like, or in a relationship where you just know it's not the right one. I mean, you're just there for the comfort, but it's not, you don't see yourself long term with this person, but you're still in this relationship. And the same thing if you are working in a job which you don't enjoy, you want to leave, but you're just staying there because of comfort, because it gives you a means to an end. And what I've seen happening is that when we are not living according to our mission or according to our values, our health starts to decline. And we can say that it has to do with your emotional health, your mental health, and I think it's definitely part of it. But I think it goes much deeper. And I will even go as far as to say it goes into a spiritual and into a metaphysical level, because I think, and this is, I think, the biggest misunderstanding in today's world, that actually the material and the physical world are all connected. I think in today's day and age, you can't build a business which isn't also ethical on a spiritual level. And everyone understands something different. What is spirituality for someone? For me, I think that even if you study quantum physics and you just see that everything in the universe is made of those small particles, right? Let's call it atoms. I mean, there are even smaller ones. And if you believe in physics, if you believe in Big Bang, that universe, that there were an explosion and universe started expanding, that you will also agree that we are all made of, the same material, which the universe is made of. And I think that all of this material is connected. And if you start studying different religions, different esotericism practices, spirituality, even astrology, numerology, doing different personality tests, I think it shows you it's all about the same thing. And the same thing is about us being aware what our mission is in life and living according to this mission and living according to our values. So, and I think that, currently the current medicine doesn't understand it. And I think a lot of people actually understand it, even in the modern medicine. But this is something which I think hinders a lot of people and makes progress slower where it couldn't be. And let me give you an example of my personal life. So I would say the time where I was not living according to my mission was the time when I was studying law in university. And specifically, I'm talking about the last year where I was studying law in Germany. It was the exam preparation for the state examination. And this is a very tough time. Usually you spend like year and a half studying for this final exam where you basically have to know everything, every little piece of law, in Germany, you have to know about it. And I started studying law, and at some point I just knew I didn't want to be a lawyer, but I still did want to finish my degree. And in studying for it, I didn't really like the subject that much, but I still understood that I had to do it, to finish it strong, and to finish my degree. And I'm very glad I did. But in this 1 year, where I was kind of struggling, battling myself because I couldn't be really myself. I couldn't really live the life I want. Even when I was doing like an internship in a law firm, I remember leaving it, and my voice changed. Like the way I communicated changed. Like I wasn't really myself. And what I also realized during those times is that I had, like, even though my nutrition was on point, I was working out as I did before that, but I just realized that, I had like small kind of health problems, like my eye started pinching, randomly, like, or I had like, I had like muscle issues, where I had to go to a doctor, and, it kind of, it wouldn't resolve, like small things, small disturbances. And I didn't understand where it comes from, because I took care of my nutrition, I took care of my exercise. I think I slept quite okay. Maybe looking back then I didn't, but yeah. And I would say, like, health wise, it was the worst year of my life. Even my blood, like I tested my blood, and my blood results got worse. My physique wasn't as good as it was before and afterwards. And yeah, and this actually showed me that living according to our mission and to our values is very important to everything else. And yeah, well, you might think, like, what are you talking about? What kind of mission? How to find a mission? Yeah, I mean, it's a very good question. I don't have an answer for it. I think the first step towards it is awareness. You have to be aware that, aware of who you are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And where do you feel like the pull towards? Right? What are you really curious about? What are you interested in? And I think the best way to find this is via negativa, meaning that, we all start with this 360-degree circle. Like we could do everything in life, right? But then you go and try different stuff, and you understand, well, I really understand what this thing is about, but I don't feel like it's right for me, right? And then you kind of, from 360 degrees, you go to 300, then maybe 250, 200, and then it kind of, it gets like less and less. And then you understand, I think, to understand what you are about, you should understand what you don't like, what are like non-negotiables for you. And I'm also talking more about like values. What kind of values are you really standing for? Like, for me, like, seeking the truth is important. Integrity is very important, and things like that. So, and once you understand those values, which are already innate, I don't think you basically have to look inwards, because every one of us has them. And this is specifically where, like, our mind and our intuition, our soul, are connected, I think. And most of the times, our soul, our intuition already knows. Those first couple of seconds, we already know. Like, let's say you try a new piece of clothes, and if you're really aware, you kind of, once you try it on, you already know if this is the right kind of clothes for you or not. And then, but then our mind kind of jumps in and starts like thinking about it, and like, oh yeah, maybe this clothes is, maybe this piece of clothes, these trousers aren't as good for me, but there's a party coming up, and those trousers are black, they're not that bad, and maybe I can go to a tailor and tailor them a little bit, right? And you kind of try to find like pros and cons, and you write down a list. But usually for me, it's a sign that it's not the right decision. If you can't decide, the answer is probably no. And yeah, this comes down to a lot of decisions. This is also actually one of the reasons why this channel and my company is called No Mind. Being free of your mind, and basically, not to say that the mind is a bad thing, but I think we lost a little bit this connection to our intuition. And our intuition, I think, is directly connected to the universe, to the source. And if you live according to your mission, then funny things start happening. Like, your business, like certain people come into your life, your health improves, your workouts improve, your business improves, your career improves, everything improves if you live according to your mission. So this is something really which has been on my mind, and I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, especially in the health space. But I think it's very important and very, very overlooked. So yeah, maybe this is something. And for me, like, I spent a lot of years and times trying to find out what is my mission, and I'm still figuring it out. I think I know it pretty much, but it's like a never-ending process. It's this eternity. But I think this is a very important key component a lot of us are missing. Thank you very much for watching.